Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought provoking conversations. Trinamool Congress MP Mahua Moitra became the target of an aggressive protest Wednesday after a mob allegedly comprising BJP workers bombarded her local transit party office along the national highway in the Nadia district of West Bengal with eggs. Eggs, I mean EGGS. Yes, it was a rain of eggs on Mahua Moitra. Described by eyewitnesses as a rain of eggs, the assault prompted the Lok Sabha MP from Krishnanagar to film the entire ordeal and stream a live broadcast on Facebook from a third floor window to document the events. The footage immediately went viral across the social media platforms, and during her live broadcast, a steady barrage of eggs could be seen smashing against the building's walls and glass windows while protesters chanted slogans outside. Now, what did Moitra say during her live stream? I want to show that video to you just to get an idea of what the situation looked like. Here is it.
Hello, sir, this is a video for Siddhinath Gupta, the DGP West Bengal, who is no longer picking up my phone. Sir, I called you as the minute this happened. I'm doing a meeting in my party office inside private premises in my constituency, and a huge mob of BJP workers gathered outside and started pelting eggs and stones and everything through the windows and eggs. And when I came to the window to see what was happening, it even hit me and hurt me through my clothes, as you can see. And the reason I'm putting this out there is that the police, I never came. I called you, you asked me for the location, which I gave. And after that, the police have come and the police have just stood and they are watching this. They are watching the fun and they have put the BJP workers on the side. They have not dispersed the mob and they are waiting for me to get into the car, after which the BJP will heckle me, throw eggs. Not that I'm not bothered about all that, but I'm not going to run away from here. Your job, sir, Mr. Gupta, is to disperse the mob. The job of the police is to disperse the mob. It is not to make me fight and take you anywhere. It is for me, it is for you to disperse the mob, sir. So I hope you see this video and I hope all of India sees this video. You're an IPS officer, you're DGP of a state. Thank you, sir. I hope in the next 10 minutes you will clear the mob. I hope so. Thank you.
Now, this video went viral across the social media platforms, but the most surprising was the response from the BJP. Now, reacting to this incident on Wednesday, BJP leaders downplayed the severity of the attack, describing the political landscape as an improvement over West Bengal's historically violent past. Now, what did Transport Minister Arjun Singh say? It is horrifying. He says there was a time when Bengal would only hear the sounds of bombs and gunfire. Now that has been replaced by eggs. There is no specific section in the Bharati Nyaya Samhita for throwing eggs, but those who used to hurl stones and bombs are now scared of mere eggs. Anyway, we will put an end to this too. So this was the reaction from the BJP. And I'm sure this incident attracted international attention. I'm sure the international media is going to talk about. But what is the larger message? What is really happening in Bengal? And if it can happen with a lady MP, what about the common citizens in West Bengal? Joining me this evening is Shikha Mukerjee, senior journalist and political commentator, joining us from Kolkata. Thank you so much, Shikha ma'am, for joining. And this horrifying video of Mahua Moitra says a lot. And the very reaction coming in from Arjun Singh saying that there is no section to handle this, the rain attack of eggs. What does it go to show? And they say that the times were worse when TMC was ruling Bengal.
This is, this is a kind of, is this a consolation remark that he is making? To Mahua Moitra, that if you just had a few eggs chucked at you or stones or garbage, then this is better than bombs and bullets. Point is that this is a government, and Arjun Singh is a minister. Therefore, when I say government, I include him. This is a government that in its sankalpat promised that there would be law and order, The police would not act in a partisan way, and the police would maintain law and order irrespective of everything else. Now, this what happened yesterday with Mahua is happening all across Bengal. There are people who are being paraded on the streets with ropes around their necks. They are being paraded by the police in shorts and walked around their villages on complaints of crimes, of corruption. And basically, what is happening is that some people with great impunity, and I mean they have immunity, are taking the law into their own hands, doing kangaroo court justice, putting people, parading people around the streets and imposing fines on them. Mahua got away with just eggs and garbage thrown at her and stones pelted at the building. But the fact is, she could have been lynched because she said in a complaint on social media, which is globally public for that matter, that she was waiting for the police to send these pelters packing or arrest them. Nothing happened. The police tried to negotiate with her and say that, we will escort you out of the building.
No, but Chika, is it also true that there were some reports? I don't remember where exactly I read, but is it true that it was reported that apparently this mob consisted of TMC, not BJP goons? They were also trying to
See,
justify it.
that see, uh, that is of course the $1 million question. Arjun Singh will always say that. Arjun Singh has been saying that for a long time now, from the time that the election results were declared, that all the violence, all the mobs that you see, all the egg chucking and the garbage throwing and the stone pelting that you see are actually disaffected Trinamool people having it out. It's an inter-party's internal problem. The problem is that who knows? And even if it is the Trinamool, does that mean that the police stands as a bystander? I'm assuming that Arjun Singh is correct or other members of the BJP are correct. But does it mean that the police that takes no action because they know that this is the Trinamool and this is not somebody else? I remember law and order is law and order. That is what you promised in your Sankalp Patra. Now, to get back to a very basic and fundamental issue, Neelu, is can the BJP's Arjun Singh is making a frivolous remark, but then he's also following his own party president in West Bengal, who said that BJP is not to be associated with this, but this is less violence. This is not bloody violence. We're only chucking eggs. But the High Court has also intervened and said that people should not be subjected to this kind of indignity and attacks. So the High Court's stricture be damned. The BJP president has already laid down the line saying that this is better than bloody violence. Therefore, eggs are fine. You can take it up to eggs, but don't go beyond that. So basically, it is mobs which are being defended by the BJP, whether at the level of the party or by a minister, which means at the level of the government. Mobs are being defended, mobs are being granted immunity. And the police is taking a political position, which, as Mahua was being attacked with eggs and garbage, there was Suvendu Adhikari on the other side saying that the police and the administration must remain apolitical. He was saying this in a public meeting. Now, here are the contradictions that you're living with. Here is the kind of messaging that is going out. And the messaging is very clear. Everything is okay so long as so long as blood does not flow.
But is it also true, Shikha, that now Mahua Moitra has named some 16 people who belong to the BJP? In fact, I think in one of her posts or somewhere she's verified those names: Santosh Ghosh, Hilal Malik, Mampi Mondal, Monideepa, Pramanik, Sumi Mishra, all these are people. Do they belong to the BJP ecosystem? That's what she has written. So are these 16 people whom she's identified, they were part of the mob who were attacking
That is what
the
she's saying, because none of us were there. We did not see the mob. There's no way in which one can actually verify her statement, or there will be, but that will take a little more time. The fact of the matter remains that if she's naming people, the expectation obviously is that the police will pick them up. But the police has not picked them up. We haven't heard that the police has picked them up. There have been other instances when of a mob attacking other Trinamool activists or ministers or councillors or panchayat leaders or whatever, and they are not being picked up. Kunal Ghosh, another ex-MP and now MLA, was pelted with eggs. He has been no one's picking anybody up. So as I said, immunity is already there. The problem here is that Mahua Moitra, as an MP, as leader of a party, is perfectly within her constitutional rights, in fact, guaranteed fundamental rights, to hold such a meeting.
No, but I'm still wondering that, okay, fine, BJP has won with a comfortable majority, in fact, rather with a brute majority in Bengal. But what is the kind of message they are trying to send?
See, the message is very simple.
Yes.
Message is very simple. If Mahua Moitra, who's holding a meeting in Nadia district, not in the town, but in Kaliganj, if she is holding a meeting, the message is very clear. Such meetings are not to be attended, such meetings are not to be held, because the consequences of it are going to be a form of violence. Now, violence, bloody violence is one form. This is also another form
And
of violence.
also a message that if we can do this to Mahua Moitra, then what about the others? We can do it with anybody.
Absolutely. There is, as I said, a culture of immunity. Nilu, I'm repeating, culture of immunity. That is the message. No one is going to touch you for doing what you do. That is why the police, even when it was there, did nothing. Why does Mahua Moitra have to? I mean, she messaged the SP, she tried to speak to the DM. All of that is true. She also had to message the DGP. In any case, the DGP would have to tell the SP to do something about it. Who else would the DGP go to? So, here is a situation where even the DGP has no control over the police administration. Or he's not exercising the power he has. Or he thinks that there is a different kind of law at work in West Bengal. The law is different from everywhere else in the country, which is that there has to be a rule of law. Irrespective of who is committing the crime, a crime is a crime. But that apparently is not the case. There are some who are violating the law, and there are some who, even if they're violating the law, are not violating the law. That's what Arjun Singh is saying.
But there is an outright brazenness in the pictorial representation, the conduct of the government. That is the least to say. But the frequency and the how it has come along, that how they've picked up eggs for the attack. Here, on one hand, you take out the eggs from the midday meals in Bengal, and then you have eggs available for these kind of rain attacks. What does it go to show? And that is something which is so stark on one's face. And when I read this rain attack, I was feeling sorry for Mahua, but I was feeling more sorry for those kids who will be deprived of the eggs, and all those eggs are being used to lynch and attack the MPs and send out a government's message. I mean, will anyone speak?
Well, Nilu, if I'm an economist, I would say jolly good. At least the eggs are being sold. Those who are producing the eggs are getting some value for them for the work that they have invested. for the money that they have invested in producing eggs, because the eggs are being sold. If it's not going to a child's stomach, at least it's hitting up an MP. But that is a kind of very hard economic logic, which I don't think is the point. The point really is that this is a government that went out of its way. Let's not pull any punches on this. Huh? I laughed about it, I joked about it, but I was also very apprehensive about it when I saw that candidates were campaigning with fish, saying that we are not going to go on the vegetarian route. We are not going to go on this vegetarianizing West Bengal's food culture. So you had candidates who campaigned with fish. You actually had Anurag Thakur come down to Calcutta and do a photo op on fish eating. So basically, this is a government, this is a party which campaigned on how it was very, very, and Mr. Amit Shah's famous statement in a press conference. The chief minister is going to be someone who eats fish. And then what do? You take the kids, you appoint ISKCON, who in any case has been under investigation for a lot of problems with other midday meals and other meals. So you appoint ISKCON, they come in with their idea of whatever is a Sattvic Bhojan. Why the Sattvic is Sattvic, I don't know, but anyway, it is Sattvic. And then it says no eggs for kids. But that is nutrition. The purpose of a midday meal is not Sattvic Bhojan. It is to give nutrition to these kids who may be nutrition deprived. And I really wish that somebody, I know that Shapam Das Gupta is educated enough, but I wish there would be other people who would read what the National Family Health Survey has to say, the newest one that has just come out,
No, in
about
fact,
malnutrition in kids.